Hello and good time zone, everybody. You have found yourself once again on the Horde of Tales YouTube channel. And on Tuesdays, we play Dungeons and Dragons. And I didn't come up with something to say for myself this time.
There's a slightly bit of enthusiasm missing on you.
On me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's go from the top. Let's go from the top.
Let me just hold on.
Do like a dramatic turn.
Hello and welcome everybody to Horde of Tales. It is Tuesday and we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I am so happy to be back here. I hope I'm bringing enough enthusiasm now. Welcome back to the second episode of Danger and Dagrios, this little two-shot that I've put together. I am joined by some lovely talent over here. I'll do a little roll call here. Welcome back to Apollo. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name's Apollo at Tall Nerd Apollo. I'm a cosplayer and voice actor, and I'm okay.
You
next
don't have
person.
to sound
Sorry.
so ashamed about that.
Come on, people, breathe in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome to Horde of Tales. We are doing a therapy session today.
This is casual therapy.
This is water. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it isn't.
Welcome back to Yelmer.
Well, hi, I'm Yelmer. I am not laughing at all. I'm doing fine. I'm staring at myself on the screen, which is very weird, but it's all fine. I now have social switch work. It's all like Fab Flamingo Queen now, so that's fixed. And yeah, I'm all ready to play an annoying goblin again.
Wonderful. Welcome back to... Welcome back as well to Castro.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaz. I use she/they pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Callus Rex, a paladin. You can find me on social media under the name Holocompass. I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight, everyone.
I'm gonna turn my headphones up a little more.
I want that ASMR OnlyFans. Oh my god.
Not 5 minutes in.
Look, you can't ruin the announcement for the end of the show, okay? Come on. Welcome back once again, Caro.
Yeah, hello, I'm Caro, like the casual player on Horde of Tales. You can find me on Twitter on Blaine Unrivaled, and yeah, and also on our Discord, so you know.
And I, once again, am Austin, at Starcrosser, the game master for tonight, and usually here as a player on Horde of Tales, but it's been fun. This has been a fun group of people. This has been a fun game, and that'll do it for... No, I'm kidding. No, this is going to be so much fun. None of us are... we're all professionals. We all know what we're doing. We all know how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I would say one was the truth and the other one was a lie. It's up to you to decide what is what.
Vote in the chat now.
Wait, I think we can make polls, but we're not going to worry about that.
I wouldn't be able to take that.
No, I don't want to know the results. I'm not going to look at chat. But did I see a cat? See a cat that wasn't mine? Is that?
She's there.
Oh, I see the cat. Look at that. Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of cats, let's not forget we have Cat Vantage as an option at all times. Whenever you want, you can just redeem that channel reward and give somebody advantage as long as you say who it's going to. We have a lot of confusion about that. You do have to say who gets the... Please don't. No, don't actually put a poll there. I was joking. Okay, well.
We're not joking.
Here we go. Welcome back into Dagrios. Last time, our heroes adventurers? The Eyes of the Three. We know that's true, at least. Our group known as the Eyes of the Three were brought together by the council who oversee this land of Dagrios with a little bit of a concern that there were statues showing up in a certain park that really shouldn't be there. And nobody was thinking much of it until the statue started showing up with like these gashes and like just wounds of these creatures. And so the Eyes of the Three were gathered and sent to investigate. And in the process of doing so, found a guard disappeared, all except for a petrified arm. Through some magical and practical investigations, trails were followed, footsteps were found, and it led them into a graveyard. And just as the thought of day was disappearing and night was overtaking, they descended in to this broken into crypt of a long forgotten hero of the original Dragon Wars, with their sarcophagus just torn apart and a hole descending deep below the city. Following this trail, they came upon what seemed to be like an underground section of the city or something that had long been abandoned, covered in dust and a smell of dank underground and mildew. They were following this trail upon this creature that they had found at some point and heard it approaching. This loud roar, this grandiose footsteps, as some people were hiding, some people were preparing, knowing what they faced to some extent. And this loud, large, almost mutated version of a basilisk appeared in front of them. This hard, giant exterior and these piercing eyes that everyone knows well enough to avoid approached them. The first round of combat was had, and I think we're going to jump right in back at the top of the initiative. We left as Apollo had I definitely wrote Apollo. That's what messed me up the last time. I wrote Apollo in the initiative. Apollo playing Ari. I'm going to change that right now. That's what kept messing me up. Ari, our friendly, definitely just a wizard, had cast a spell on this basilisk, and we bring back now to Aquila, who, top of the initiative. What are you doing with this giant creature now in front of you?
Okay, so like besides this one, I think it was a slap of the tail that he tried on me last time. That creature hasn't done much, I guess.
Yes, it tried to bite Callus and tried to swipe you with its tail.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking at the others that I can see at the moment, and like, are we sure this is it? And then I'm attacking again.
Go for it.
Oh, this doesn't look bad. That's a 28 to hit.
Ari, do you have something to say about this?
Yeah, just because the creature is paralyzed, if anyone's attacking, you have advantage on your attack roll, and any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Rules
I'm standing right in front of it.
And don't forget also Bane.
Yes.
And we're just gonna beat the shit.
Yeah, and since I've won the insightful fighting last time, I can use my sneak attack on top of it.
Well, you have sneak attack because Callus is within 5 feet as well.
Yeah, even without this, I would have sneak attack because I with the
Right, with the insight
feature
and
that
the
I have.
deception thing. Yes,
Mm,
indeed.
Okay, so what do I need to roll? 1d8. Let's do this one by one. So you said it's immediately a crit.
Yep, immediately crit.
So 2 9 plus 5 is 14.
14.
Okay, now I need to roll a fucking shit ton of these sixes, so I'm using the. So I have normally 7, so that's 14 because every roll die is doubled. That's a lot of. So what did I say? 14 plus 54? That's something 68?
Jesus
God, that's one away. That's one away.
I think it's kind of, I believe the
And-
damage was 69.
Christ.
Well,
what was with Bane?
Bane is
Oh,
just, it
yeah.
has D4 taken away when it tries to do things.
Yep. It was just a reminder.
Okay.
Wonderful. So, what does this attack look like from Aquila?
Yeah, normally that would have been like just a very fast, quick slash where she just moves a little bit to the side, like trying to get on the back of that beast. So, but now since there's a lot of like magical power going on, there's like these somehow reddish pinkish magical energy field around this as well.
Okay.
So yes,
Right. So as Aquila, she attacks with a rapier, correct?
yeah,
Is it?
she
Yes.
is Europe,
Okay. Yeah. This rapier like digs in and like as you move to the side, you actually like slice it open a little bit and do a little turn and half step, and you cut a little bit deeper than I think you even thought possible, as this creature like can't even move to react to tense its muscles, and this giant gaping hole opens on the side of it. You feel your spell of paralysis break, because that has to target a creature, and as this giant basilisk falls over on its side, it's no longer a creature, it's a dead body. You did like more than half of its hit points in one hit. Congrats.
at the end, basically standing there, like being totally surprised, like, oh.
That was a
Congrats.
little anticlimactic.
You solved my basilisk puzzle. The answer was kill it.
Splendid work, Aquila.
Oh
Wonderful
shit!
swordsmanship.
Oh, that was it.
Like comes out of its little tiny spot. It's like, oh shit! What?
Nah, I hobble out too. I'm like, well, I think that's a way to solve the problem.
Slightly poking it with the rapier. Is it already dead?
You
I
see,
thought
like,
there's more.
twitch in one of its legs, but nothing more.
That's kind of disappointing, you know.
Okay.
I agree. I was waiting for more. I just feel a bit, yeah.
Well, we still don't know a lot. There's a lot we don't know, guys. What? Okay. What just happened? What just happened here?
It appeared and it's dead now.
My biggest question is, do we have to clean this mess?
Can I like insight or arcana the body of it? Is it in like?
Did you want to insight the body?
I don't know.
What are you thinking?
Is it like the dead body of a creature, or did it? What?
I see a Star Wars scene in front of me with cutting something open and just walking. I mean, you're tiny.
Is Luke Skywalker in there?
He is actually, but he's dead. Unfortunately, Skywalker Luke is a famous druid around these parts, and you do find the body of them within this beast.
No.
But no, so, funny you ask. Somebody being in there, you do actually like you see these like chunks of rock fall out of it as you're like starting to like look around and investigate. And one of them is like this petrified chunk of a person's head wearing a helmet, which might lead you to believe this creature was like petrifying things and like eating them in their rock form. But if you wanted to investigate for like, is there something specific you're trying to get from this creature?
Actually, I think I'm trying to see if there are any signs of not so much domestication, but contact with others. Because I'm like, okay, this explains the people this explains people dying and being turned to stone. It doesn't really explain statues appearing.
Yes.
Just kind of like.
Right, okay.
Kind of does, but I just want to see if I basically just want to check if, do I 100% believe that this creature was just acting alone?
Right. If you're trying to look for any other kind of magical contact, I would say either a high arcana check, or I will give you, if you want to detect magic and use that spell slot, you could use that to help in this.
I can give you a hand if you want. I stretch out the arm.
Yeah, I'll do the arcana. I may as well.
I'm casting guidance while I do that.
Awesome.
Are you
That's
doing
a
it through
D4,
like
yeah?
the second hand?
Yeah, through the arm, through the arm I have.
Does that arm turn to flesh now that the creature's dead?
No, it doesn't actually. It is still a petrified arm. And now apparently a casting focus for Grave Clerics.
I don't like this.
Ari, why don't you give me that
that's a
check.
22.
22. I would say there are definitely faint traces of magical elements that I realize I've off-centered again. I don't know how I keep getting off-center. There are definitely traces of magical elements that are not natural to this creature. Like you can feel like the trace presence of something being cast upon this creature that is not what you just recently cast on it. Like this fading feeling of another magical presence, if that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything I can do can I now cast like detect magic to see if I can zero in on that now that I have like more of an idea of where I'm going, or would that it's a full other different thing?
No, you absolutely could. Yeah, if you want to cast detect magic, go for it.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
Cool. You detect a very, very faint trace of I'll just tell you, it's a dominate monster spell.
Knew it.
Somebody has very recently been in control of this creature.
Yeah, perfect. I think at this point, this is the point where Ari opens his eyes. He's had his eyes closed this entire time. He opens his eyes and he looks at the group and he says, I fear the worst. This was merely but the pet, the guard dog of belonging to whoever we are truly searching for. My comrades, stay alert. And yeah. And I'm just telling them, and then I go into more detail about what I felt and specifically the dominate monster effect.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Aquila took the head of this guard and looking it over, like, should we bring him back to his family?
I think I'm contractually obliged to. What's this? His arm? Does this face look like the guy you saw, Callus?
Does it look like the same person?
Turning the head over so that Callus can look at the face.
Does it look
Yeah.
like the guard?
Yeah, I think it's the same person.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
100% the same card.
Okay, if you guys could please just help me gather the stuff.
If anybody else could like touch the dead body pieces, that would be so great.
Says the one who was eating sand. Okay, sure. I'll just tiptoe over and jump inside of the creature and start gathering as much like stone body parts as I can and just put them in a pile while he is still talking and explaining everything. I just plainly do that.
Ari, can you remind me again? Did this dominate monster spell? I know at some point there was a class about spells like this.
Yes, so the dominate the dominate genre of spells. You can generally take control of a person, make them act within your bidding. Usually it's a more advanced version of spells like the command spell, which will mainly just be a sentence or a word. When you dominate a creature, you're able to command them to do explicit things. I look at more Surge, I'm like, no.
You hear like a muffled. No keep shaming.
I don't kick you, but I like you just see it. Ari has the old man look of just like, come on.
When I'm inside, I just feel the stare going through the flesh of the creature. If it's still flesh,
Good.
I don't know if it's even turning into something else.
No,
Yeah.
To jump back to more Surge, as you're digging through this creature looking for these body parts of this guard, you find a lot more body parts than just the guard, which makes you think like recently it has maybe like killed 2 or 3 people. One of them is in like everything is like stone, and so there's no like texture to it, but judging by the shape of this, like you're kind of like finding all these puzzle pieces and like lining them up and putting like this torso goes to this person and that head goes on this one, like putting the pieces back together. You find somebody that's like, you weren't even sure if it was a person at first because it's just this very dense like cloak and like hood, but they're like inside the hood there is like a person inside there, and like as it's broken off in certain parts you can see like that kind of like the leg has like that kind of similar bone structure like the arm that you found. So like this person was attacked and then turned to stone, and then eaten, but it's not wearing like a guard uniform or anything like that.
I just point out that this is probably all the guard pile. That's also a guard pile, but a different guard because this doesn't fit that. But that's not a guard, so it's also attacking other things than just guards. I don't know. Wasn't the park off limits when this happened?
Yeah, I think Ari just kind of finalizes and says, well, long story short, this creature belongs to someone, and that is the person who is directing it.
I have a question. Does a command spell stay on the creature even though the creature would die? How does that work?
I think command spells, or I think spells in general, just fade when something dies.
Yes, very good. Well, remember
Yeah, I remember things.
Good job.
I skipped all your classes. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I don't, but I understand. Certain spell effects will wear off after the creature dies, it passes on to whatever plane it came from. So I was able to, I'm able to tell the final remnants of this spell, but it's fading quickly.
Well,
The
before I think we need to think about. I mean, we're still in a cave, right? Like with walls. What are we gonna do now? We killed the creature, but if you said that is a thing, then we need to think about like the big bad guy was on the end or something.
One thing.
Yes.
I wanna loot that creature for body parts because I think there might be some stuff that people like to buy on it. It's a fucking big basilisk.
I mean, when I'm in there, I can do like a medical check and take some stuff for you if you want.
I will say
Claws, teeth, blood.
for the sake of like time here, if you want to loot the body, you can get whatever you want from this body. I'm not gonna make y'all roll
Okay, cool.
a medicine check to be like you get 6 teeth and 8 claw. Like no, you can have what you want in this context. It's not going anywhere.
Okay, and then the discussion goes on, and Aquila is starting to harvest the body for parts.
I open my cloak and there's like all these empty vials hanging. You need any?
Thanks.
And I'll just go inside and harvest some organs too, and I'll just give them. And I also have a bag of holding with me. We can just take more. Just package it nicely, you know.
My
Making
best
a
student
nice
and my
little-
worst.
Okay. In the meantime, while we're just doing this investigation part, you guys maybe look forward to spring plan because I'm already loaded right now, so I'm happy.
Dallas.
Also, could you remind us, when we first came into this little cave system, we came across this underground city, correct? That we haven't gone down to really look at yet.
You are like the easiest way of explaining it is you are currently on one of the streets of this underground city. You are kind of like on this like outskirting street, and there are like buildings off to your side that you are still very well within view of.
Oh, how tall are these buildings? Out of curiosity.
They're like maybe 2-story buildings at the highest, and like the highest one is probably like 30 feet from the ceiling of the ceiling of this cave. So like the cave, it kind of arcs and dips, and there's different sections of the stone formations that it kind of varies as to like how tall some of these buildings are.
Oh, were you going to say something, Akila?
You have my attention.
So I'm thinking, if there is truly some sort of person who was controlling this thing, there is the potential for them to be hiding out in this area still. I propose we get to the roof of one of the buildings and have a quick scout around to see if we can notice anything, because judging by the size of this place, I think it might be difficult to spread out and look for a needle in a haystack, so to speak. That's just one plan, though.
Question: has any one of us ever heard about that there's a city underneath the actual city?
If I remember correctly, I got like a very high history check, and
Yep, you did.
the surprising thing was that I'd never heard of it.
Okay.
I believe, like I had said, you're very confident in knowing you don't know of anything about this place. Like, there are stories and like kind of whispers of children around like wells, like saying like, "Ooh, I heard like a whisper coming from the well," or like, "I heard like a scream, like, you know, from underground." So like there was always this kind of urban legend of like creatures and things or people living under the city, but there's not been any proof of that before.
Okay. So I mean we can do this. Maybe there's stuff living here like darklings and of all kinds of creatures that are living in the dark.
I come out for the. Remember, there is the only thing I remember. Like in the beginning, there was a Raven Queen thing, on the crypt, etc. So maybe
Zombies?
Huh? What?
Zombies?
I mean, Raven Queen, people that are dying, some stuff living in the dark, zombies.
No, it feels a kind like a necropolis to me.
I could. There's a ritual that I could do to get as much information about this place as possible, but it takes 10 minutes, and I don't think we have that much time.
I mean, I'm losing a body. You have all the time you want.
I think we should try figure out who's behind everything, and then I will bring a team of researchers. We will sweep the area, unless you all think that it would be better to get the information now. But I do think that time might be of the essence.
I mean, I'm all good with climbing on top of a building. I like surprises.
I mean, you can like do your ritual, and like 2 others could already scout around a little bit.
If we want to do some of these simultaneously, I think you're right, More Surge. We could probably find some clues as to more Raven Queen buildings here as well.
True.
I just want to point out, somebody in chat reading the posture check. I don't know who all has chat open, but I just thought I'd mention that to everyone. So, hey, don't slouch. Watch your shoulders. We're business casual today.
Very good fourth quarter.
No, we're in the third quarter. Where are my ears?
Well, beneath your thing on your head.
Yeah, why do you have headphones but not on your cat ears? Like that?
What do you mean?
Anyway.
I mean, I can't. I mean, I could now I can't hear y'all. So there you go.
So, what? I mean, I'm all fine with scouting around. I'm very stealthily, so I can do it very sneakily in the corners and the shadows. With probably with Quila, I think.
I'm not very stealthy, so I'll stay here and make sure that Ari is kept safe while you are doing your ritual.
I'm all for
Perfect.
Yeah, if people are down.
I was gonna say, so are you gonna start casting what I think I know what spell you want to cast, but I don't want to assume.
Yeah, so the spell that I want to cast is Legend Lore.
I love that spell.
So that'll take a full 10 minutes to get everything back. Like, if it's a sort of spell that if it gets interrupted halfway through, it's not that I don't get anything. I'll just get up to what it tells me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to get the Spark Notes version of whatever civilization this was in 10 minutes.
What is the proper casting time without ritual casting it?
That's all it said there.
Oh, sorry.
Let me check.
Gosh, you don't know the entirety of the wizard spell list just memorized by now?
I think it does only say casting time 10 minutes, duration instantaneous. That's what it says.
Oh, so ritual would be 20 minutes since rituals are 10 minutes time, right?
All right, ritual I think is a minute plus the casting time initially, isn't it? Wouldn't it be at 11 something? I mean, it's not terribly important, but
things like I have to spend 10 minutes casting it and then I'll get it all. Or
yes, I think that's what I wanted to clarify was I think once you spend those 10 minutes, you can't cast it for 5 minutes and be like, I got half of the info. I think it's you spend that time and then information comes to you.
Yep. So I'm more than happy to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to find a little nook in the city, or atop a building, or wherever, and just kind of lay down my little magic historian stuff.
Yeah, you definitely can. walk up to like the one of these buildings you see has like a little, almost like a small little shed attached to the side of it, where you would think like somebody might store like firewood under it so it stays dry, which in an underground city doesn't really make sense, but here it is nonetheless. And you can like kind of feel a little bit safe like sitting up in that little shed like structure. And you can begin casting, and Callus is staying with Ari, and then more Surge and Aquila, you are like gonna scout around the local area. Is that right?
Yeah, we're scouting.
All right.
Ooh. I'll also cast Sanctuary on Ari while we're here as well.
Wonderful.
I knight Ari with the handle of my hammer on both sides, and you just feel like a lovely warmth go throughout you.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right. So Aquila and more Surge, are you like climbing on top of buildings, or are you just like walking in between these streets? What's your approach?
Aquila will definitely take the upper path above the buildings because it's pretty easy for her. I'm not sure about more Surge.
You think I can't reach that?
I can throw you. No, I
May-
can't. You're too heavy for me.
That was very close. Nobody throws me.
Look,
Yeah,
look at my arms.
I mean, look at my arms. I have a strength of -1.
Same.
You have an extra one though, but you've got a third arm now. So like, does
I
that not give
mean,
you a
I can,
bonus?
I could maybe. Okay, let's just try. I'll for once try to climb. I'll try to climb. Let's see let's do an athletics, I guess.
Are you letting Aquila help you climb, or
No.
okay? Then sure, go roll athletics.
I will just climb above him. I mean, I have the athlete feat, so climbing doesn't even cost me any movement. So just climbing like a pro up there on the roof and then looking down, it was like, I'm waiting.
So I guess it's athletics, not acrobatics.
I could let you. I'd let you swing acrobatics for this.
Okay, because that's at least a +2 instead of a -1.
There you go.
Let's see what it does. Oh, that's a 17.
Yeah, easily you can climb up on these buildings, and
I'm
you-
going to use the hands to,
exactly, like to reach up and like pull yourself up a little bit.
and when I get all the way up, I use it to scratch my back for a bit. Well,
Yeah.
let's go.
So climbing on top of these
Mm.
buildings, you're close to the kind of ceiling of this cave in here, but you are not, like, you don't have to like duck down or crawl or anything. And you can get like 1 or 2 buildings in that. A lot of them are like very closely connected, so it's not any difficulty. Give me a perception check, either one of you with advantage or both of you roll individually.
What's your perception?
I have a +4 in perception.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's, but I have a passive 19, so
I just remember that I have like disadvantage on that, basically.
yeah.
So you just do it.
okay, cool.
Something with a mask.
No, not for perception. No.
What was it?
You had disadvantage on persuasion.
Persuasion. Also a P. I'm sorry.
Oh, so that's a 16.
All right.
Was it with advantage or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I will say both of you looking up. What is your dark vision like? down
60
here?
feet.
Samesies.
Okay, so I would say kind of like standing on opposite ends of the building to kind of like get as much as you can. This seems to be a like fairly well networked, like almost like a second portion of the city that is covered in just a heavy layer of dust. Like, this is not a trafficked area by any means. There's not like some kind of underground society that's been secretly living down here. But I would say that Aquila, you do pick up on a small symbol on the side of one of the buildings, which it takes you a second to really recognize what it is. It seems almost like a very old version of like a written like thieves can't warning sign is not the correct word, but like thieves can't when it is written is usually like graffiti on the side of a building to portray a message to those who know what it means, but to others just kind of look like a weird symbol on the side of a building. And it's reminiscent of one that means like a holy place, like people will put it on the side of a building to say like, hey, if you need some kind of like sanctuary or you need healing or something, there's one of those nearby somewhere. That I would think with a 16, that's probably what you pick up there.
This symbol looks familiar.
Yeah, what symbol? Where? Can you point it out? It's so far away.
Like looking, pointing to that symbol that is.
Yeah, it's basically like this like little like if anyone has seen like the little logo I've made for Dagrios down there, it's very similar to like the top arch of that with like a star in the middle of that. It is the symbol you see, and Aquila, you would know like the kind of modern representation of that has shifted a little bit, but it's similar enough that you kind of get its meaning.
Maybe in older times there had been some kind of like a temple or a healer or something like this being in the area. We can check it out.
Yeah, could I do a history check if I remember something?
For what specifically?
Like when she said like healer temple, you know, it's basically the opposite of what I do, but it doesn't mean that it's not religiously inclined, which technically I'm part of a religion.
I would say you can go for it, but I don't. You'll have to roll very, very, very high to get anything, and I don't think there's much you can gain. I'm going to tell you that now, just so you're not disappointed.
It's fine. I'm just going to roll anyways. Let's see what it brings. And it was a natural one. It's fine.
No idea.
Well,
you're like,
it looks pretty. It looks pretty.
Very yeah, pretty. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of, you know, those ancient logos of religions and stuff. It's also elaborate and on walls, etc. They always use it for so many useful things.
Yeah, can I remind you of something? The next roof is a bit further away. Do you think you can jump that?
I look over.
I can always throw you.
No, you go first. You go first. It's fine. You go first. I'll just look at you how you do it, and then take that as in consideration.
Sure. Remind you, I can jump. Like I only need like 5 feet of like a running start to jump over stuff.
Yeah, no, I will say with easy confidence, Aquila, you have no trouble navigating rooftop to rooftop. For the sake of this, I would say more Surge, you have some difficulty, but I'm not going to make you roll every single rooftop to rooftop because that would just become monotonous at this point. But
I just want to throw him.
I will say...
We're not throwing the little one.
I will say rolling with that 17-year-old earlier, you have enough to like get from rooftop to rooftop. You're just not as quick and elegant as your roguish friend.
Yeah, I guess just imagine like a beginning free runner just falling like, oh, no, it's fine, like that.
Yeah, and we are going looking for the place that was mentioned on the symbol.
Okay, so you start scouting out this little section of the underground city.
Yep. Investigation.
Right.
I'll give you guidance.
We will come back to that in just a minute as we shift back over to Ari and Callus kind of standing vigil here. Ari, you are sitting here focusing on this ritual casting. What does that look like specifically? What does Ari look like when he's ritual casting something like this?
I think I think there are certain staples of wizards in fantasy that are very aesthetic. And for those reasons, it'd be kind of like the first step is drawing a circle of chalk for protection. So Ari's sitting in there.
Right.
He has a few of the material components laid out in a sort of making some sort of almost like an alchemical circle around him, where he has certain components placed at specific intervals of distance in a specific way that they create some shape that's meant to channel the magic of the ritual better. He has a small he has incense lit, so there's also a nice vibe going. Like it smells nice too. It smells like old book smell. Like you go to a library and just like, oh, old book smell.
That.
And then I think he's just sitting. Actually, no, he's kneeling down on one knee. He has his staff on one hand with like the very top of the staff glowing a warm. I'm gonna say like a warm light bluish color as it's channeling the magic, and then with the other hand, he has it placed on the ground. As he's trying to like ground himself in the city to be able to pull the stories out and pull the lore out.
Right. So Callus, as you're kind of watching Ari perform this ritual, kind of looking over as his hand is like placed within this sort of like magic as mathematics equation written out on the ground. This slow trickle of light blue energy slowly tracing through the lines and connecting each little ingredient point to point as the casting starts to come to its completion. You watch as Ari's circle finishes and the two ends meet. That circle immediately turns black, and this like glowing black energy almost like forces itself at Ari very aggressively. And you look up and Ari's eyes like shoot open and they are pitch black pupils. And with that, we're gonna go to break.
No, my little guy.
Everyone, I have terrible news. Ari's been possessed.
Wait, we never know. Look, you asked for knowledge of a long forgotten place, you're gonna get long forgotten knowledge.
You know what? That's so fair.
You get what you ask for.
He's very old himself, so maybe it was more back then. You never know.
I'm 155 years old, I'll have you know.
Ancient.
All right. Well, we are going to take ourselves about 5 or so minute break. We will be back here in just a few moments, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. So, when last we left our eyes of the three, they were subterranean in this abandoned city. We had Aquila and Morsurge scouting out ahead as Callus watched Ari finish the casting of this spell, and this black energy overtake him. And Ari, from your perspective, you were focusing, concentrating, pouring your magical energy into this spell when suddenly, though there was not much sound to begin with, everything goes silent. Almost that ringing in the back of your ears that happens when you're in a silent room isn't even there. There is absolutely nothing. And you open your eyes and there's nothing. There's not empty space, but the lack of anything. There's no depth, there's no vision, there is emptiness. And then suddenly there is a great noise. There's the hustle and bustle of city around you. There is folks moving up and down with carts. There is an open sky above you. There is the vision of daylight and the smells of fresh baked bread and this life around you in this space. You are still seated at the edge of the building you were before, looking around you, watching people pass by, as if this place has been transported into this miraculous, vibrant, living city. You are sort of like pulled away from yourself. This like out of body experience as you feel yourself drifting backwards, looking down over the city. It is shaped almost in like a spoke and a wheel, with everything sort of leading towards the center of this city. And you know where you were before was like one of these outer rings, and at the center of this city is where your mind is drawn to. You are drawn to this large, almost Colosseum-like structure. This like large open air temple in like the shape of a square with pillars lining each side of it. At the center is this miraculous statue of this cloaked figure wrapped in wings. There are people praying to this figure. There is a graveyard surrounding this temple. You know well enough to know this is what most temples of the Raven Queen are sort of modeled after today. But this is a much more, it looks ancient. It looks like the blueprints of what is built today. You seeing this, you sort of just absorb this knowledge of like, this is pre-Dragon War. This is one of the first cities. This is before Dagrios was a country. The place you're in is ancient and full of the very basis of like godly power and the sparkings of magical creation. This is a very strange place to be that you didn't think still existed. Is there any specific question you have that you want answered from this spell?
So the way you described it, the experience, like out-of-body experience, it feels very much to me kind of like dreaming and lucid dreaming, the way you kind of like you're floating and you're kind of aware.
Yes.
So I think the question...
You are not directing yourself. You are sort of being pulled through this city and like brought to these points.
Yeah. I think the question that Ari would ask if it felt like the city was listening in some way would be something along the lines of, why are you showing yourself now, or or have we made you mad in some way? So like, if you've been under the surface all this time, what's happened that's made you show yourself again?
Kind of like thinking this question to no one in particular, you are met with a shift in vision. You are met with an invasion of dragons and dragonkin, of like sort of like dragon-born creatures, like raiding and pillaging this village, like destroying structures, a red dragon flying overhead and just like covering the ground in fire. The sort of, I guess, like the vibe you get is incursion, not necessarily emergence. And I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the response you get.
Okay. Wow. Awesome.
As you're having this sort of vision, you hear this roar off to your left, and you look, and the red dragon is there, flying at you, mouth open, releasing its breath weapon. As you blink, you open your eyes, and you're sitting once again underground in this lost and forgotten city with Callus in front of you. Callus, what you saw for the last 30 seconds was this dark energy go into Ari, sort of paralyzed for a second. It shifts to white, it shifts to red, it shifts to blue, and then it shifts back to Ari.
Oh, breathe. In, out. 752. What just happened?
I saw it. I saw the city when it was alive. This is so ancient. This is pre-Dagrios, before the dragons even arrived. I saw the day the dragons arrived. I saw how they came and they destroyed and they broke and they relegated this city sacred. There's a temple deeper into the city of a temple of the Raven Queen. This was a place deeply sacred and ancient, and something has been awoken. And I don't know. There was a dragon, and I don't know if I recognize the dragon, but I feel it's important here.
Okay, you've thrown a lot at me, but I'm smart enough to recognize the words Raven Queen, dragon, and some of the other scary stuff you mentioned. I think it might be a good idea to reconvene with the others and maybe share what you found with everyone else.
Yeah, I think I'm just taking out my kind of like, my spellbook / notepad, and I'm just scribbling everything down. It makes no sense, but it's being written down.
It makes sense to you, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
All right. Are you trying to catch up with the others as you put your stuff away and make your notes?
Yeah. I'm thinking about that red dragon. I'm racking my brain. I'm like, hey yo, do I recognize a dragon? Have I heard of what dragon specifically this could be, or do I know someone who could know? It's kind of like the first question, because dragons are probably the thing that Ari is closest to in time. So he's trying to take the very historian approach of like, okay, start with the thing that is closest to you and work your way back.
I will say this: roll a history check.
Okay. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I'm magical items. Okay, no. Okay. A history check. Come on, don't fail me now.
And I will say, I do believe you had somebody. Yeah, Gwenora just gave you cat vantage.
Yep.
So if you don't have to use that here, but if you want to, you can choose when to use that.
Well, I did roll an 18 plus 15, which is going to be a 33. So I think I'm going to keep it.
Are you sure you don't? I mean, it's only a 33.
I mean, look, if it's only a 33.
I mean, it's up to you.
Guys, do we want to use the cat vantage?
Keep it short, right?
Making me paranoid.
Wow.
Oh, shit, it's only a 33.
I definitely,
no, that's good.
I definitely don't blame you for like saving that for something like
Not
further
dying.
down the line. I'm trying to find the actual word for this because I have a word for it written
The
down here.
chances I roll a 19 or a nat 20 are not that high.
No, that's fine. So I will say this. There are not necessarily any red dragons of like recent memory that come to mind. You do know during the Dragon Wars, a lot of these chromatic beasts were hunted. Chromatic dragons by no means are extinct, but they know well enough to keep their distance. They know to stay hidden, that if they are alive, they can't just go around ransacking towns because the populace of people are stronger than they were when they ruled. They have the help of certain metallic dragons. The few gem dragons that are still around also offer their help in terms of like defense and like magical capabilities. So these chromatic dragons nowadays, a lot of them are lore and legend, much like a legend lore would give you. I didn't plan to word it that way, but it's funny how this works out. It's very much a thing of like, what you were looking at was probably, if it does still exist, because these were hundreds of years ago and dragons do live for many, many years, you would hope this dragon is not still alive. Because if it were, it would now be what is considered a great worm. It would be beyond ancient. It would be a massive, powerful creature waiting and biding its time for an opportunity to just wreak devastation across an entire city. So you don't know if it's still alive, but like doing some math of time in your head, you just kind of hope it's not.
Okay. I'm doing the math, and I think whether we're walking or whether we're stationary, Callus, like no insight check needed. You can just see the color, which is difficult because Ari's a rock gnome, so there's not much color there to begin with. But the kind of like dark grayish turns to a lighter kind of like limestone complexion almost, as the anxiety is causing him to overthink and do the math. He's like, how powerful, how old? I think he's thinking, if we get out of here, I'm definitely asking my friend a good few questions because I know someone who might know more about this. But oh boy, if you like lean over and just kind of take a peek at Ari's notebook, he's writing in like 5 different languages to try capture the feeling of what he saw and what he experienced. Because whoever like speaks multiple languages, that like different languages have different feelings. So he's like writing, when he's thinking about the dragon, he's straight up writing in Draconic. He's writing in Celestial when he's talking about the Raven Queen. It's a mess. He understands it. It's like you're looking at a Picasso or something like that that's just all over the place.
I absolutely love the idea of like different languages having different like emotions and feelings that like Ari associates with them, and I love that so much. You don't even know how much that makes me happy. You don't know how happy that makes me, but it makes me very, very happy. We will cut away as Callus and Ari are making their way through this town. You kind of have a general sense of the direction Aquila and Morsurge went. Are you, before we cut away, are you ground level walking through the streets, or are you trying to take the rooftops as well?
Oh,
For Callus and Ari.
Third option, Callus will cast Find Steed, and we can ride a majestic spirit horse through the streets to catch up with our compatriots.
Somehow I
Show
always
off.
end up with somebody casting Find Steed whenever I play in Dagrios, and I love it. What is Callus's steed? Since you have that power.
Callus, what she does is she takes her hammer and she strikes it against the air in front of her. It doesn't look like it impacts anything but the solid air, but you just hear this like warm and low bell reverberate out. And a few seconds later, you hear like this trot along as what essentially is a Rapidash from Pokemon comes into view. This beautiful, sleek, pale horse with a fiery mane and tail and little flecks of fire across its like just hair in general comes into view. Fire, of course, because Callus is a fire genasi, so it's just on theme.
I love this. You all make me so happy. This is great. So yes, this fiery steed comes cantering up to you and reaches you, stops, like kind of gives its like sort of bow to you.
I bow back. Ari, if you still need to make any notes, you might find it easier to sit while you're doing so than walking. We can find our friends in just a matter of time.
Yep, okay. Wait, yeah, fire horse, yeah, sure, dragon.
It's like, yeah, that tracks, okay.
Like, that's a something kind of weird that I don't need to address right now. I'm doing my stuff.
Wonderful. So a fire genasi atop their fiery steed trotting through the streets of this subterranean city.
Like I'll help Ari out as well, make sure that he's secured.
Great. Yes. Aquila and Morsurge, you are making your way rooftop to rooftop, heading in what Aquila would know is like the right direction based on that symbol of like these things. Even in ancient times, you know, like they are placed as like a guiding point or as like a warning sign, like, hey, don't go this way or go this way. So you do know where what you're looking for is somewhere in this direction.
Okay, do I find any more signs on the way?
I would say every like 5 or 6 buildings, you see the sign repeated.
Okay,
and so
but no
know,
other signs or anything.
I mean, occasionally you might see like down on a doorstep, you see the sign of like, it's sort of this like almost like an X with like 3 dots around it, which means like, hey, leave this place alone. Like they are a friend. Like don't rob this person, kind of thing. And it's placed in ways that like people running on the rooftops can see them. But like from the ground level, like people don't realize their houses have been marked in specific ways. You know, to prevent everyone from just writing an X with like 3 little dots around it on their house. Otherwise, like, don't rob me. But like you see the signs of like a thriving and vibrant like thieves guild, essentially. Like, you know, like there were people that lived here a long time ago and they had a culture and a, like, you know, underbelly of the city. Not to
Can I
Not
check
to
one
play
of the
on words that you're in
houses
the
that
underbelly of
are?
the city,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Can I check one of the houses that is marked as like, yeah, don't go in there, dear friend? Like, general checking if there's still anything left. Because we all know that people don't vanish from one day to another.
exactly. Yeah, you can. Like, are you like trying to go in through the front door, the window? Like, I will say this one that you find is like a 2-story building.
Yeah, like the easiest way in, basically. I don't think there will be any alarm going off or any.
I mean,
So
does the alarm spell have a duration? Who knows? We'll never know. Jumping from this other rooftop, kind of like climbing down onto this little like landing in front of one of the windows. You pry it open, and this is like your first time like trying to touch and interact with something in this city. As you go to like grab the shutter to like pull it away from the window, it is like charcoal in your hand. Like it is burnt, dried, and withered wood. And you go to like grab it to pull it, and you just like your hand just goes through it almost. Because of your dark vision and because of like just everything being covered in dust, it was hard to tell up to this point. This whole city was covered in fire at some point. Like kind of looking around, like you can start to see like cracks and breaks in everything, just like in cinders. But you can pull this away, and like the glass on the window has like long been broken, so you can just climb your way into this building. The inside is relatively untouched. Like there are some things knocked over and broken, but the interior of this building doesn't feel like as charred and burned. It is a stone building, so like the building itself did not catch fire, and it didn't spread within as much. But you do find yourself in this what you assume to be like a bed chamber. There are some rags that look like blankets from a bed that's long been torn apart. You see like a smashed up dresser, and like a Chester drawer, and yeah, you find yourself in like a bedroom of somebody.
So there are still things left. It doesn't look like as if someone just like put stuff together to leave or anything. So
yeah, I mean, it looks like somewhat ransacked, but not like somebody was going through their things. Like something came through here and like broke everything.
yeah, I see.
But if you're like going through the drawers, like, I mean, there's like some gold and some silver in here. You pull open another one, and there's some like old tarnished jewelry. None of it is like in really like good condition. I mean, it's been here for who knows how many hundreds of years. You go to open like the large Chester drawers, and something falls out of it and hits the ground and like shatters and turns to dust and ash. And it is the long, withered and burned remains of a body that, as it hits the ground, just starts to dissipate into ash around you.
That's the first. Okay. with that, like, just experiencing and everything, it's like taking some of the jewelry, not for myself, since like this has probably also some kind of historical value.
Sure,
So
of course. Naturally.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take
what
this
is his
jewelry to
face?
preserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah,
No,
and maybe with bringing this back, I can get some bonus points.
Of course, naturally. You're here to preserve history, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then going back up to more search.
I'm still sitting like if you would have like a roof. I'm sitting on like the edge, and the moment I saw like the door crumbling, I think I started to panic a little bit, and I think I went down. I think I fell. I probably fell down, but you didn't see it because you went inside. So I did not fall down. I'm just sitting there, very like startled.
Just like on street level now?
Yeah, I'm street level.
Oh, okay.
Did you fall down?
No, I was like the moment you like I saw you touch that door, and I kind of structural integrity just freaked me out a little bit. So I thought like let's just get down and not have a moment that will fall down through like a roof and end up in somebody's bedroom or something.
I don't think that this would have happened, but I mean, I understand your concern.
So you found anything inside of there? Any relics? Any buddies?
Yes.
Aquila, are you still on the balcony as you say this?
Yeah, basically, I'm shutting it downwards.
Okay, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
You're not doing this to me, don't you?
Integrity.
It's somewhat stable.
Somewhat stable is a 19 for me.
Maybe it's like stable for a smaller person, but not for a taller person.
Yeah, probably.
As you're like
Just
standing
call me
here,
fat.
I heard the word taller. As you're like standing there, kind of shifting your weight, talking, you go to like take a step, and the board of this like wooden like terrace like breaks, and you take another step back reactively, and then two more boards break, and you fall, but you're able to like catch yourself and like grab the edge, and then like calmly drop down. You're only like on one floor up, so it wasn't a terribly large fall, but you are now also on ground level.
Well,
I thought you were like a historian or something. Isn't this like against your code?
no, I'm not.
I don't know what the Cobalt Soul does. I'm sorry. I'm just here just because people pay me to be here.
The Cobalt Soul is an organization that offers many services, like
Yeah,
a
like
library for
historian
people who
stuff,
want to get a
record
little bit
keeping.
more.
Here you go.
Anyway, I think something came through here and burned that wool stuff. I mean, there was a lot of like that frame on that window that was definitely like intact once, and it was like crispy like some coal.
As you're saying this, both of your attention kind of gets caught from behind you as you see this small little flicker of light.
Oh Lord!
And it's getting
the flame is coming
and bigger, and then you hear.
Oh my! It
and
is
it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see this like obvious like aura of flame, and then as it comes into view, you see Callus atop this flaming horse.
I don't think Callus burned everything down. I mean, she definitely cold, but I don't think that's.
My head peeks from like the fallen part of the structure, which just fell down, like the boards, etc. Hey, you don't scare us like that! Don't you see that everything was burned around here?
Oh, hi everyone. How are you doing? Oh,
I technically don't want to die yet, but what is this horse thing?
Oh, this is just my good old friend. Fire main.
The Pokemon naming conventions, I see.
Well, I mean, I guess it's in theme. We just, well, I'll let you do the talking.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Ari has discovered some very interesting information that I don't actually understand very well, but I heard Raven Queen in there somewhere, so I thought, more Surge, this might be very relevant to you.
I just put my clothing a little bit nicer, you know. I know I'm important sometimes. Enlighten me.
You're very whimsical, more Surge. I like that about you.
Whimsical? I just carry myself with class. So, what is the state of what you found out?
I think Ari pops down off the horse, and Ari, he's been writing for the entire duration, has not. You're concerned that this man hasn't taken a proper breath. Like, he pops down, he's a short guy, he's a little rock gnome. He goes up to more Surge. I'm not sure if they're like equal height, but if they are, very much kind of like hands on your shoulders, shaking you, being like, "What do you know about the Raven Queen?"
Where is she?
For the record, you don't see my face because I'm wearing a mask, but for the people at home.
The city is so ancient. It's from before the Dragon Wars.
Okay, yes. So I heard Raven Queen, I heard city, I heard dragon.
That would explain the burnt frames.
That would explain why the whole city is like black and torched indeed.
I think.
How can you tell that it's black? Oh, the fire. Yeah.
I think Ari takes like a couple steps back, looks at everything, and just says, "Everyone, we are standing in the ruins of a city that got decimated by draconic flames.
Oh my lord!
This dust is probably soot that has been here for centuries. The city was sacred to the Raven Queen. There is a temple at the center of, there's a temple or a coliseum or some structure to her at the center of this city. I think that is where we should go, but I'm horrified to think of what may lie there."
That evil dragon. I mean, look at that poor balcony over there. Look what it did to it. And I wink to Aquila like he didn't do that. But you don't see the wink, but
Crimes against architecture are something that can never be forgiven.
I know, right? We need to protect the history.
Okay.
So listen, you little shit. At some point, I will throw you in somewhere.
Why? I said that the dragon broke that.
I grab more Surge again. Listen to me, goddammit.
I just want to be sure, like, for my sakes, is Aquila still hanging because we never defined?
No. She's standing.
Okay, because we never defined if you went down or not.
I'm
Ari, like, yet again, like a madman, is shaking. At this point, like, absent-mindedly, just shaking more Surge, being like,
I grab
"Listen to me."
your hands and I just politely stop touching me. So,
my apologies.
Let's get over the facts. Okay, let's cut over the facts. So, Burnt Down City, you said something about the dragon. What did you the Raven Queen temple? I have a feeling that probably if we go to a typical, notebook adventure shit, temple, evil guy, dragon, hopefully dead. Might be a dragon.
Very, very hopefully dead. If the dragon is still alive, it is beyond ancient, a great worm. Second, a dragon so powerful it would be considered the left claw of Tiamat. It would be so powerful. Its flames could destroy not only the city but all of Dagrios in an instant. If that dragon is still alive in some form, we better hope it's asleep.
That's
and if
so
it's asleep,
cool.
no one better. No, not cool. Not cool.
No, I mean, it's so horrible. It's awful.
He goes like a little man
Polishing
around. He's like
rapier.
stomping.
And
He's like stomping. He's waving his staff around. He's like, "This is not cool. Not cool at all."
No, it's absolutely not cool. It's absolutely awful. It could destroy so many things. It
So
would be
much
hard,
death.
so hard to fight against.
So
Why,
much.
why
death,
do I feel like you're a
destruction.
little bit into this? Like, I need you to be as concerned as I am.
Hey, we're
Oh,
not
I'm
into
totally
kink
concerned.
shaming. We're not into kink shaming. Let the women be.
Goes back to writing
Temple.
notes.
Did you find out where the temple is, like in the middle of the city? Can we define where we're standing in the city right now?
It's probably that way we went to.
Yeah, I think I just show my book, and there's like a very crudely drawn map being like with arrows and shit.
Probably
Yeah,
all
it's
wobbly because you were standing on a horse.
You remember the
Yeah.
sign that I showed you? It was pointing in that direction.
A
So
sign? What sign?
Sorry?
you don't understand this.
I will say between the four of you, between Aquila showing you these signs and Ari kind of that like out of body vision you had of the city, you could put together that the direction Aquila was heading was towards the center, towards this sort of structure you saw in your vision.
Mhm, yeah.
And if you wanted to, you definitely could head in that direction.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna sit on that horse. I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable with fire at this point.
That's very understandable. Fireman, and the flames will dim into like just a regular main. I don't know if
I
Fancy
don't.
could do that, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I also don't think that the four of us will fit on a horse.
I mean, both you and Morsurge are quite small, and I'm very powerful, so I can carry the both of you in the front. And Akila, if you'd like to be in the back, then I'm sure we could make it work.
Did you just assume that I have multiple personalities?
No, we're
If I-
stacking you both on each other.
Well,
Yes, but you said
I
you
get-
and Monsieur.
You
But you were speaking to me.
my apologies, I've misspoken. I was directing that at you and Ari.
I'm fine. I just have 3.
More sword. Whoa. More sword. Get on my
Yes.
shoulders.
you know,
I
rules says
mean, I'm
written.
totally not.
Rules says written. I don't think this would work, but also I love it. And look, if
But
three,
Callus is in the back, and Callus is like very strong and big and tall.
if 3 kobolds in a trench coat can count as 1 medium creature, I'm gonna allow this to work in some way or form.
Get on my back.
Right.
I can completely also see Ari just hanging like on the back of the horse's spear or something, just going up and down, still writing.
Yeah, 100%.
No, for sure. You can find out some kind of configuration that lets you all travel deeper in towards the center of the city. And valiantly, your crew travels through horseback in this
Clinging to Callus because of course I have nothing else to cling on it. It looks kind of like cuddling.
I sit back ways, just like that, staring to Ari, just hobbling up and down, like,
Yeah, that you get for being small.
I'm like, I'm a bit higher.
Because the tail is full fire, so I'm just gonna get scorch marks.
No,
It's like you took the
the fire
tail.
was put up.
yeah,
You,
the
like,
fire was
split-
turned into like normal hair.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Okay,
like
you take the tail.
vibrant red
kinda-
hair now.
But you take the hair, you split it, and you just tied it around me as a belt.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's definitely harder than like a tail should be.
Wow.
I need a piece of paper because I need to write this down and draw it.
Please do. Please do. I would
This
love
is
this.
hilarious.
Just like
But as-
holding my staff in my mouth, just like.
So the eyes of the 3 on no more flaming horseback, but on horseback, traveling through this immolated city towards the center. after about like 5 to 10 minutes, it's hard to see distance in this sort of cave because sometimes the roof dips and sometimes it opens up into larger spaces. But eventually you come upon this Parthenon-like structure, this open square column-based building. Ari, as you lay eyes on it, you expect to see this large open air building with this towering statue in the middle of it, and instead you see a half collapsed cave covering a corner of it, columns broken and fallen. Half of this like second structure above it is like sprawled out on the ground. Very little of this building is like structurally standing. And because of the way of the cave and what is crumbled and at your distance, you can't necessarily even see if that statue in the center is still there at all. I will say, as you approach and you get, are you like on horseback, like running straight up to it, or what is your approach here?
Unless someone is telling Callus to slow down, I'm full charging it and full sending it.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, I could go scout ahead if you want before you charge in, but it's okay. I trust your decision here.
If someone like asks Callus to like slow down so that we can like get it and lay the land first, like absolutely. But in her mind, she's
No, please go ahead.
In her mind, she's been told that there's a great evil slumbering beneath like this building potentially, and as a paladin, it is her duty to make sure that this will never come to fruition in any way, shape, or form. This is like an urgent thing, so we got to get there as quickly as possible. And she's not a stealthy person by any means necessary.
All right, charging full front. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say?
No, not important.
Oh, okay. Charging in towards this building. More surge as you like kind of look around and take in. You see this symbol on like the one part of this roof that is still standing, and like as you pass by and look at it, it almost like time like kind of slows down for a second, and like you look at this symbol, and what it is this like raven skull in the middle of a blooming tree surrounded by raven wings. And you notice this symbol, it's not even a symbol of the Raven Queen herself. It is a symbol of what the people once thought was one deity. As these deities like were giving people powers and empowering them and granting this knowledge, and as like this smaller species that was constantly fighting against the dragons developed, they realized Melora and the Raven Queen were not the same entity. They used to be worshipped as like this one deity that controlled life and controlled death and controlled nature. And this is a time before that even like that deity shift had even happened. And it kind of like strikes you as you pass by it, and as the time kind of slows down, you get this like this unnatural feeling of dread wash over you. This sense of urgency, this voice in your head saying, stop this. And then you're back in real time charging into this temple.
Can this thing go faster? Can we go faster? Can we go any faster?
I like lean towards like Firemane's ears and say, "Can you, for us, for the good of all the people. Can I do like an animal handling as well to like see if we can like?
You
kick
don't
this
even
into it?
you. I don't want to like take rolls away from you, but I will say, at your command, this steed picks up at full pace.
I mean, you summoned it, so there's not even an enemy handling
I
check.
suppose not. Yeah.
No. This against all odds, against having 4 creatures on its back, it is running at full pace, and you hear this. You have this like psychic mental connection with Firemane.
Fireman.
I was like, was it Flamemane or Fireman? I don't remember. Fireman. It's such a beautiful name. Firemane. You feel this voice connect back to you. For you, I will burn through anything, and I will make it so.
Thank you so much.
And it picks up the pace, and it charges valiantly, and as you come like under what used to be the roof of this place, like these stalactites just falling through and crumbling, like these crumbled up pieces of ceiling like around you, just weaving expertly in between them. Right at the edge of your vision, you see what would be the base of this giant statue at the center, and the wings crumbled and fall into the side. The upper half just gone. You can't even see where it is anymore. It's not like fallen off to the side. It just does not exist anymore. And at the base of this statue, you see 2 figures walking around it on either side and walking behind it. And kind of as your very audible approach reaches their ears, you see them kind of turn around to look back at you.
Halt. The 2 of you. So sorry to intrude, but we're here investigating some wayward monster had been attacking some people on the surface, and well, we'd like some information if that's okay. We come in relative peace.
I just want to add one little detail. Like on the way, the moment I saw that sign, I would probably, in a panicky, like the most serious of more search ever talk to Ari, explain the whole thing that he saw. So like the sign and then the deities, etc. Just probably
That's
like
being
so
written
fast,
down in the
so
book.
fast that like so half of it is not even understandable, but like panic mode.
I think if there's one person that could understand panic mode, fast speech, word vomit, it would be Ari in this case.
Absolutely.
That's why I was directing it to Ari.
Exactly.
I think it's very much they're just screaming at each other. Everyone's like, "What are they talking?" We're like,
Gods, terror.
Flashback to present, as Callus, as you shout this out to these figures, one of them is like using a great axe, almost like a walking stick. The other you see is like in heavy plate armor with like a shield at their side and like a sword within a sheath. They both just kind of like look at each other across the base of this crumpled platform and then look back at you, and the creature with the great axe, as you approach now, you see is this this pale blue dragonborn with like 3 different horns and this shock of like white hair coming off its back in like heavy armor, just You found our pet, did you?
Oh, that belongs to you.
Belonged.
That's
Well,
all one mystery.
The other creature off to the other side, this like gaunt humanoid face. At first you think like these black vacuous eyes until you realize it doesn't have eyes. It is just like stretched ancient skin, like drawn back across its face, and this dark void where their eyes should be just kind of turn their attention to you. Yes, it was ours before. Well,
I
the mage
don't want to
said
say.
it lost its purpose and was promptly killed.
Well,
You look kind of like the person that needs some like cream for their face, because it's kind of like it's missing some hydration.
Wait. I want to do something. Where was it? I had it here. Can
Just
I
as a
cast?
response to that quote, I don't want to interrupt your casting, but just as a response, we'll say, a few hundred years underground will do that to you, yes.
Yeah, then probably also a bit of light.
What are you casting for, Serge?
I want to cast Eyes of the Grave, just to be sure that my suspicions are right.
Immediate blip from the non-dragonborn person. Just, they are definitely undead.
I just poke Ari like, that one is not alive. That one is completely dead. Look at the eyes. And I confirmed it, but
well,
Right. Ari's immediately just mental thing of kind of like, okay, let's scroll through this catalog of undead beings that I just know about. And he's like, God, I hope it's not the one I'm thinking about.
well, I'm very sorry that we had to kill your pet. Unfortunately, it had found us, attacked us, and had attacked a few people up on the surface. We wanted to come investigate to see if there was anything else happening down here. So sorry as well. Very rude of me. My name is Callus, paladin from the surface. Work with the Eyes of the Three. Affiliated with the Cobalt Soul. Bureaucracy, affiliations, blah blah blah. I didn't even get your names. So rude of me.
The dragonborn.
It's because we haven't asked.
The dragonborn turns with like a knowing grin to the other creature, and that sort of like undead creature just looks back at you. A name?
Yes.
You think if I...
Oh no,
My
you
name was
insulted them.
taken from me, you wretched filth of a creature.
That is hurtful, but you
know
can't clearly.
who I am.
Says you walking corpse.
Well, that's what I want to find out. If that's all right, I do apologize if I've misspoken.
You
I'm
have
new to all of
spoken
this.
the moment you came in here. You think... She gave me a name. It was taken from me. It was forgotten. It was lost to time, even though I was champion. I fought for everyone. I fought for everything. And what do I get? An empty grave. I get no name. I get it taken from me, stricken from history. Do you think that's why I fought for this city?
I hear you. And how does that make you feel?
Therapy. Let's go.
Makes me feel like killing everyone on the surface, which is what I plan to do.
You know, externalizing your rage, that's a very common go-to when you are filled with a lot of emotions. But I feel as though, you know, there are other more productive options that you could go for as well that could make you feel just as fulfilled.
I think I'm in the
I
process
hear
of doing
wood
that.
I hear chopping wood might help a lot.
Ari.
I think I'm Ari, but he's hearing that she gave me a name. I was champion. Immediately, kind of like ears perk up, and he says, "You were a champion of the goddess of this temple? Perhaps? You gotta tell me, like, hot, cold, where am I?"
If he had eyes, they would be staring daggers into you right now. One of them, yes.
Okay. Yes?
Yes.
The goddess. I don't have her name. A goddess of life and death that then got maybe misinterpreted by the surface dwellers and the people who came after as two separate goddesses. Am I correct in saying that?
I do have a very important question before he responds to this. One more search. Was there something you were wanting to do? I saw your hand raised up a second ago.
Yeah, I thought, and then I couldn't think of it, and then I thought, and then I was like, oh wait.
Okay. The second question: How close are you? I assume the horse has stopped at this point. You're not still.
Horse has stopped.
Okay.
Callus has made no attempt to approach so as not to instigate or antagonize them.
Mhm.
And I also want to stay within 10 feet of my allies here in case someone targets them with something and I can just like them have a little bit of a bonus to say any saves. Yeah, Callus, yeah.
Okay, I will say this creature takes a few steps forward. Just mark that off. And in a wash of feathers, like onyx black feathers, is engulfed in them and then appears with their hand on more surge.
Like fully,
Grabbing
like,
them
on?
and ripping them off the horse. You hold her power.
Don't you touch me!
I will tackle this person.
Oh, before you can even do that, I just want to cast Toll of the Dead because he's touching me and I'm not dealing with this fucking shit anymore. So you see this tiny fucking goblin just coming up with, just drilling with rage. And then you hear this bell sound, which, like, your bell sounded a bit more, godly and nice and paladinish. Mine sounds like one of those deep ancient church bells, like very boom, and you feel the ground shifting a little bit, and you see all these ravens like just shooting at it, like from behind my cloak, like just going towards it. And I want to cast it at I got it. We're level. So I can roll 3. Yes, that's okay. Sorry, I got it. Never used this before, so I needed to.
That's absolutely fine. I think there's a saving throw on this.
Wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Alrighty. That's probably not going to do it. That's a that's an 8.
No, that does not. So it takes. It is saving throw. Take 1d8 necrotic. It takes 1d12 and it turns into, because we're level 11. Sorry, high level characters. So much to read through. I think it's then 3d12.
Okay, and is there a difference in power? I think, like, if this creature has been hurt before, it has like a different. Toll the Dead is a strange spell. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Let me just
get the glasses. Get the glasses.
No, it's just that I don't see that that the spell damage increases when you reach. Yeah, I think it's a different spell. This is just a
target. Okay, so it is D8s. If the target is missing any hit points, it's D12s. Yeah. So it's the same number of dice, but it's a D8 instead of a D12.
It's a D8. Let me roll them. It is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Wonderful.
And do I get loads out of its grip, or?
I will say it did not like it grabbed you and threw you to the ground. Like it's not like it doesn't like have a hand on you anymore. And as it takes out 13 points of damage, I want everyone to roll initiative, and we will handle that when we come back from our final break of the night. We're gonna come back to a hopefully very fun encounter here, and we'll see what happens. We'll be back in roughly 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Come back to a nice and peaceful and calm Dungeons and Dragons game where our resident goblin cleric was just thrown from a horse by an ancient undead being in armor. A Toll the Dead spell was cast, and everyone is rolling initiative.
Don't you judge me.
What did we get for? I will just go in order of the little squares I have here. What did we get for Ari?
That's an 11 for Ari.
Alrighty.
Oh, R.I.P. King.
And what did we get for More Surge?
That would be a 14.
Okay. And what did we get for Callus?
16.
16. And Aquila, what did you get for initiative?
23.
23. Love it.
It just goes up and up and up.
I mean, it's nearly at the max, so there's not much anymore that can't go up.
Asking for no reason in particular, what's Callus's dex bonus?
No reason at all.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I said, what is Callus's dex bonus?
That is a +4. Oh,
Okay.
no, sorry, bonus?
Yes.
0.
Oh, okay. The initial. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, can you roll me another d20 for no reason in particular?
Absolutely. 2 seconds.
No.
I refuse. 5.
Oh,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'm scared for
You
you.
could have gotten a 1. You could have gotten a 1. We don't know.
It's very true.
Who knows?
Callus drops dead.
No!
Oh, hell no. And I just revive.
Yeah.
This was all a
Alrighty.
dream.
But are we going to make it a walking corpse or revive it literally?
yet. It's not a dream
Crazy.
yet. No, for as this gaunt undead creature has thrown More Surge to the ground, Aquila, what are you doing atop this no longer flaming magical steed?
Okay, cool. So we have that one Dragonborn who is how far away?
Just for simplicity's sake, 30 feet.
Okay, and then there's this overall dude next to Morsearch who is probably like, let's say Morsearch is in between, and then there's this guy so like around 10 feet.
Yeah, 5 to 10 feet away from you, very easily.
Okay, cool. Yeah, having so many options as a, you know, as a
little
rogue.
14 rogue?
I'm running besides Morsearch and give a little steppy step towards that guy.
Mhm.
And since Morsearch is like next to me, then it's like if I hit, I kind of get the sneak attack. Yeah, I guess a 13, doesn't it?
13?
Yeah.
No, that misses.
Yeah. Then I'm try to do a offhand attack as a bonus action.
as you swing your rapier, this creature hasn't even drawn their sword, then they just like effortlessly bring that shield up to block your first attack. What's that offhand?
18?
18 misses.
Ah!
Yes, and I will say, don't forget for, I believe it's Callus and Ari. I'm going to remind you, or was it more Surge and Ari? Who has cat advantage?
I have advantage. I have it marked down.
I
Callus
had
and
it
Ari.
last game. Never
Okay,
used it.
that's what it was. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't make the rules of this channel, but I don't think
No,
they
it's
carry
fine.
over to new games.
It's fine. It's fine.
Hmm.
My cat will just give you advantage. It's fine.
Hey, keep the cat on the screen. Who knows? Speaking of, hello, how's it going? All right. So as both of those attacks miss, this creature just kind of looks at you and just smiles with these rotten teeth. Is that the end of your turn?
Like seeing
Oh.
this rotten teeth smile, like, yeah, you need a dentist, like really hard.
All right. With that, I'm giving cat vantage. How appropriate.
Why? Why
Don't give
are
the-
you giving
Don't give the
him
DM cat advantage. Don't give the DM cat advantage.
No, please do. It's really wonderful because as you stare down at this creature, they draw their sword.
So cute.
They're gonna make an attack at more Surge on the ground.
Remember.
Which I will say this. Since I just kind of sprung it upon you and I didn't justify this before the break, make me a dexterity saving throw to see if you're actually prone on the ground or if you were able to like scramble back up.
Is Morses within 10 feet of me?
Yes, for sure. They were pulled off the horse right next to you.
Then you get +4 to that.
A +4?
Yeah.
Paladins.
Unfortunately, more Surge is on the ground.
Oh god.
So these attacks are just at advantage anyway. That's still not great, actually. That's only a 15.
That doesn't hit because my armor is 16.
All right, I'm gonna roll for a second attack. That will hit. That's a 17. Oh wait, I only rolled one dice. Hold on. Yeah, no, 17. Okay, so that one hits you. And it is going to strike you down with this twisted blackened iron longsword. And as it strikes down into your body, you feel this pulse of evil necrotic energy as it smites you at first level. Because that's fun.
Oh yeah, let's kill the healer first. I'm all fine with it.
Only when we do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
We have
wasn't
a
even-
second team.
I was
Yeah,
even in front, which is like
It went to you to do this.
Well, that's 18 points of damage to more Surge. Are you resistant in any way to necrotic damage?
don't think so, no.
Okay, I wasn't sure what Grave Cleric gives you specifically. But that is it's 11 necrotic damage and 7 slashing damage. So 18 total.
Okay. Damage. I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, fuck!
And then that is all it is going to do for its turn. But unfortunately, I did roll initiative separately, but they both rolled the same initiative. So the Dragonborn is also going first before Callus. And they're going to rush up actually towards... Oh?
Wait, as Warcaster, you can do a reaction to make an opportunity attack. And would that count now?
That would count if this creature walks away from you.
Okay.
Basically,
Sorry.
like you can
Brain
do an
fart.
opportunity attack when something.
Yeah, sorry, I had a brain fart.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. So this dragonborn creature rushes up towards the horse and is actually going to attack Callus at the front. I don't believe you get any bonuses for being mounted for that, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's been a while since anybody has
yeah.
ever been like mounted combat in my games.
Callus did step off the horse to talk to the other two, if that makes any difference.
That makes it very simple.
Sweet.
They don't have advantage against you. What am I doing? 1 dice. That's cocked. That's good. It is attacking you with its great axe, which that's a lot. Why can't my brain do math? It's a 16 plus 8, whatever that is.
Oh, yeah, no, easily that hits, yes. Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't get to smite you, unfortunately. It's just a simple dragonborn of a ancient evil dragon, and that gets 7 points of damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it does get 2 attacks, so it's going to try again with a 19.
Yes.
Okay, so one more. That's a good roll. That's a 14 points of damage.
Ooh.
And I will say, as it is hitting you with this, these are like pulling an extra like necrotic energy from the power of this axe. Nope, wrong dice. It doesn't get to smite, but it does get to do extra damage. $15 points of necrotic damage. Alrighty. As this creature is hacking away at you, Callus, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. The creature on top of Morsurge, are they carrying anything?
Like weapon-wise?
Just anything in their hands.
They have a shield in one hand and a longsword in the other.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast Command at 2nd level, targeted at both of these things attacking us. And just through a booming voice from the depth of Callus's diaphragm, she just yells, "Drop," to get them to drop whatever they are holding. They both have to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, so we'll go with the Dragonborn. That's a natural 20.
Oh, fuck.
A +1. 30. So yeah, I think 21 beats your DC for that.
Yes, easily.
Let's roll for the other creature. What is the DC?
17.
I'm gonna use my cat vantage.
What the heck?
That is okay. It made it a 17, so it also succeeds. Whew.
You've burnt
Thanks.
the cat advantage, everyone.
Thanks, Ida. I appreciate it. All right. So, is there anything else you're doing with your turn?
No, that is my turn.
Alrighty. So as Callus shouts out this command, the very strong of mind push your command out. More surge, lying on the ground, this creature stabbing into you. What are you doing?
Ow. Okay, I'm just gonna put my hand like on his face, like, but can I reach that? I don't think so.
Probably not their face.
Well, then just their arm, and like trying to, and then I just cast Inflict Wounds.
All right, that's an attack roll from you, right?
Yes. Make a melee spell attack or it's a creature you can reach on a hit, blah blah blah. So let's roll. Come on. And obviously it's rolling down. It is a 16.
That misses.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
You see me just like trying to touch it, but the moment I cast my spell, it just and just some black thingies just float the other way.
This energy just gets dispersed away from this creature. Just looks down at you and just through this like hollow voice just starts laughing at you like.
Oh, just you wait! And I snip my fingers, and then I cast as a bonus action spiritual weapon.
Oh, okay.
I can, if I'm right, as a bonus action.
Yeah,
it appeared
sure.
on my bonus action.
I'll allow
it. This like casket with wings and in the front of it, like very Raven Queenie, appears behind it. And I believe it says that I can also make an attack already.
Once it's summoned, it can attack.
Yep. So let's see. It is a 19. So that means a 27.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Let's see how much damage. That is a 9 force damage. So the coffin's door just opens and it just baffs in its face like a bitch slap.
Perfect. It just like swings its door open and hits this creature in the face as they get assaulted by a coffin of their forgotten patron. Are you doing anything
inside of the coffin? You now see like the corpse has a raven skull.
Wonderful. I love
just flavor.
Perfect. Are you doing anything with your movement? Are you standing up or are you gonna stay?
I mean, it's basically, it stabbed me, right? It's holding me down a bit. I mean,
you can stand up if you want to.
I
will say, as you're on the ground, things attacking you get advantage mechanically.
Okay, I'll stand. I'll stand up.
Okay.
It's movement, so that's fine.
Yeah. So as More Surge creates this winged coffin behind this creature. Standing up from their space, what is Ari doing?
Okay. I don't know why every time I go into combat, I just say, okay, so. Actually, one thing I want to clarify first is one of the creatures are they both Dragonborns?
No. So you have the like kind of like pale blue skinned, like white haired Dragonborn. And then you have this like gaunt humanoid, maybe like human or half elf or something in a past life.
Okay, perfect. I was just writing down my notes of like keeping track of what's going on. It was the humanoid that attacked More Surge first, was it?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, sorry. That was just for my own. Yeah, that was just for my own little note-taking purposes. Apologies. Are More Surge and the humanoid standing in the same 5 feet square, or are they kind of like separate to each other?
Oh, they're like next to each other.
Next to each other. Okay. I want to cast lightning bolt, but I'm going to use my at what level should I? I'm going to cast lightning bolt at 4th level. And I'm going to use my awakened spellbook to change the damage type from lightning damage to fire damage.
All right. So this crackling sulfurous smell as this lightning bolt shoots out from Ari. I assume at the undead one, right?
Yeah, at the humanoid that whichever one is more clearly undead.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, so they need to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, not very dexterous. That's 12.
Yeah, they don't make it.
That's unfortunate.
For them.
No, that's just sad in general. Don't y'all feel bad for this undead evil?
Absolutely
being?
not. Absolutely not. And here's the part that fucking math. Okay, god fucking damn it. Okay, so that's gonna be 9d6.
Wonderful. That's a lot.
6. Do I have enough d6s? 7.
Roll them twice.
9. I have just about. Right, so that is going to be 10, 20, 25, 27, 29. That's going to be 32 points of fire damage to them.
Nice. 32
Kind of
Yeah.
smells
fire
roasted here.
damage. Just
As a that's my action. I think Ari kind of takes the staff, points it towards, says, Morsage, out of the way. And the staff starts to crackle with electricity, but then it changes just to a jet of flame as it races out, hits them. Still have my bonus action and my action.
bonus action and movement.
Bonus action and movement, yes. Bonus action, I'm going to manifest mind. So from my spell book, the shimmering blue energy comes out of the book, takes the form of a face, of a rock gnome's face that I'm gonna give you all the little tragic backstory that none of you recognize because Ari doesn't talk about it, but it's the face of his brother who passed in service to the Cobalt Soul, and who Ari carries with him through his spellbook, through his memory.
I love that.
He looks at the awakened manifested mind and says, "Brother, to work." Sends the and I'm gonna manifest it kind of like on the opposite side of the fight, if that makes sense, so that we're kind of like flanking, so we're each taking up the rear.
So like next to where this spiritual weapon has been spawned.
Yeah, next to there, to a maximum of 60 feet for mechanical purposes.
Okay.
A movement wide, I'm just gonna. Is there a place that I can just kind of like? Can I go behind the horse?
Yeah, I would say you're not in melee with anyone, so you can like basically just hop down, back off the horse.
I think I just kind of back off to my. I kind of just go to a place where I'm not even looking for half cover, but just to a place where I can get a good view of what's going on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Slay. Thank you.
Wonderful. So rolling back up to the top of the initiative, Aquila.
Okay, so do I have now both of these guys standing next to me?
No, so
Okay.
the undead folk is on one side with more surge, and on this other side is Callus and the Dragonborn on other side.
Okay, I was standing to the humanoid one. Okay, I'm using my steady aim feature as a bonus action, which gives me advantage on my next attack roll for this turn.
Perfect.
So, and then I try to slay away. Yes, this is good. This is super good. At 28 to it?
Oh yeah, just barely hits.
Yeah, barely. Yeah, and since most is like 5 feet of me, I still get the
Sneak attack?
sneak attack.
Absolutely. You get that. I think even by giving yourself advantage, you get that sneak attack as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. 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 Okay, yeah, this D8 is trash. So these are 8 points of damage plus. I don't have that's 6. These dice are trash as well. 8 plus 23 is 31 points of damage.
Alrighty. Wait.
So since this guy is so focused on more search, it's probably rather easy to just find an opening to give him a nice little hit. Just a little bit.
Wonderful. So, reaching in, finding a weak spot, and just piercing right in between the plates of the armor. They just like hiss back at you. Is there anything else on your turn?
No. Oh, okay.
This creature is just going to turn and look at you with hatred in its eyes. Use a bonus action to just point its offhand finger at you and just say, "You're next." And you feel this wave of dread wash over you, Aquila, as
Okay.
this creature performs a vow of enmity, giving it advantage on all of its attacks against you.
Oh.
And it's going to start taking those now.
Okay.
It did not like you stabbing it like that. That's
Of course
a
not.
natural 20.
I use my reliable talent as a as a react. No, it's not a reliable talent. It's the uncanny dodge as a reaction to a half the damage.
Okay. Love it.
Thank God.
Gonna go ahead and roll this second attack at advantage. Wow, why isn't this character a barbarian? That would have also been a crit. That's a natural 19
At least he's not
plus
above a natural
6. I'm
20.
pretty sure a 25 hits you as well.
Yes, it hits.
Okay, so for the first one, it's gonna second level smite on top of this because it doesn't know
Oh,
you.
thank God I'm getting this halved.
Yeah.
That would have
This is
been
just
so
gonna be
horrible.
regular damage. Look, I don't often throw evil paladins at my players, but it's very fun too.
Vengeance Paladins, 10 out of 10.
Yes,
To
I
play,
love
to
Vengeance
fight against, absolutely not. Keep them away
So-
from me.
Since I'm not doubling the damage, that's 25 points of damage. So
Jesus, man.
it would have been 50,
okay.
but since you're having it, paladins are
Oh,
great.
man.
And that second one hits you as well.
Yep.
Just for a basic 8 points of slashing damage.
Looking still okay.
All right. This dragonborn creature bearing down towards Callus is actually gonna like grit its teeth at you. Inhale deeply and just exhale this cloud of black crackling necrotic energy in a 30-foot cone, which I believe is actually going to catch almost everyone because nobody's like widely spread out yet. I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, thank God I'm good at wisdom.
+4 on top of that because of my aura.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say everyone's still within close enough to be 10 feet,
Oh.
sure.
This is.
Oh, love that.
I love my +8.
Okay. 17.
22.
26.
16.
Okay.
Thanks for the +4. That saved my ass. Like,
Thank you for
I
the
think.
+4.
Okay, wonderful.
It's like an ad for like a lawyer. Thank you for the +4.
Come on down to +4 today.
Okay, so everybody successfully avoided this, so you only take 20 points of necrotic damage.
Only.
Oh, I rolled 40 for the damage on that, so y'all are all taking 20, and you are not frightened by this creature.
Why is it necrotic? Why can't it be like fire damage?
What? This is a ancient dragonborn of a different deity you don't really know about, so who knows?
What's
I'm looking
wrong
like,
with this guy?
No. Don't like that.
Everything's Everything's fun. Unfortunately, that is his action. So I believe that takes us to Callus after bearing down and resisting this necrotic energy. What are you doing?
We try doing this a nice way. Now we do this the callous way. I take up my warhammer against this dragonborn, and I will strike them twice.
Please.
Roll me some bones.
First attack is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
The next one is a 29 to hit.
Both of those hit.
So for the first one, I'm also going to do some Divine Smite myself, actually. And I'm going to do that at 3rd level. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 extra d8 of radiant damage on top of this. So I'll do it from here, actually. Oh, no, this will be easier. So that will be 15 points of regular magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
With an extra 22 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
Wonderful.
And then the second attack, which... Am I allowed to pump another Divine Smite into an attack at the same time? Then we'll do
I don't care. Go for it. Well, you can do that after you hit or not.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled over 20 for both of these.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
That'll also be at 3rd level. So the second one, the regular bludgeoning, is going to be 12 points.
Okay.
And then another 4 d8. Will get us an extra 11 radiant damage.
Nice. I'm pretty sure, like, rules is written, you're not supposed to, but at the same time, it's a 2-shot. Let's have some fun. Deal some damage. You just dealt 55 points of damage in that round. So, like, let's go. Is there anything else you're doing with your turn?
I'm going to turn to Aquila, and I'm going to just finger gun Sanctuary.
What does this give me?
So, if somebody tries to target you with any malicious intent, like an attack or a spell, they have to make a wisdom saving throw first. And if they can't hit you, they have to move on to another target.
Oh, okay, cool. That's very...
So you can continue to sneak around.
Wonderful. So yeah. As Callus's like fire genasi, just like this like fiery hair just engulfs in like this wreath of flame as you strike this dragonborn. More surge, you see this like flare behind you. I think even like Flame Main's main reignites in flame as this happens. More surge, what are you doing surrounded by all this fire and necrotic?
Fuck. Oh wait, those are not the right words. I quickly I look at the thing in front of me. I quickly get my little book, go through it. What was it again? What is it? Oh yeah. He just mutters some words out, and I want to cast Mass Healing Word on 4th level.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I take it you're not targeting the Dragonborn in this?
No, I'm just targeting us. But yeah, you can cast something at 4th level and still roll 2 once.
Oh no!
Boy.
So you just see like these feathers coming from from me, but they are like half broken and just and you all heal. Everybody heals 5 hit points.
That's better than nothing.
Thank you.
It is not better than nothing, but like me in combat is basically just this. I'm already preparing you guys. I am terrible at it. I'm cursed with everything in combat or everything. I'm sorry. This is already like 3 ones in a row. Just saying. Like, it's
wow.
It's all good.
And as a bonus action, I wanted to do again. because I'm standing in front of the thing, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes, sorry, yes, you
Okay.
are.
Sorry, the audio cut out for a second. So
Sorry about
I'm
that.
gonna use my bonus. Wait, what's that? Sorry, let me check one thing. Haven't played the cleric in so long. What was that? That was already the bonus action. Fuck. Sorry. I thought. Then I'll just. I mean, let's just add to the flame, I guess. But it's like a range thing, so that would be disadvantage. Oh my god. Okay, I thought of this wrongly.
It's all good.
I mean, if I can sacred flame the thing in his face, but
yeah, that's a saving throw on its part, so that wouldn't be disadvantage or anything. So
yeah, let's just sacred flame at his face.
go for it. What is that save DC?
16.
16 for doesn't matter. That's a 9.
So that
whatever that bonus would be, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 3d8.
Wonderful.
That is 20 damage.
That's a lot. 20?
Yeah, let's just say I see all the flames around me, and like, I'll just add to the fire. I mean, this place has been burnt enough, and just flick my fingers, and like 2 little firebolts just go right for the sockets in its eyes. I mean, get you some light, right?
You see this creature like drop its sword and like start like clawing at its faces. It's essentially being burned from the inside out, and kind of like falling to its knees as this is happening. That brings us to Ari.
Lovely. How are they looking? How are our opponents looking?
I will say the Stricken is looking very mechanically speaking, not good.
Right. Okay.
The other one also not great, actually. A little bit better off.
So the Dragonborn is one that looks a little bit worse for wear.
Sorry, the Dragonborn is the one that looks a little bit okay.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna attack the humanoid again.
Yes, that one's not good. Go for it.
I'm gonna attack the humanoid again. With the same thing as before. They just need to do the dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
again.
Got an 18. Nope. They got a 17. What's your save DC?
18, motherfucker.
That is
sorry, that was me.
No, go for it.
Right, so again, looks like he's gonna cast a lightning bolt, but then it changes to flame as a jet of flame goes towards him. And as the fires are engulfing the creature, he's gonna turn towards the Dragonborn, just look at him and essentially just say, I know that you carry anger. I will offer you this mercy only once. Tell us what's going on here. And I'm doing the math right now. And the little calculator and everything. And that's 33 fire damage to the humanoid.
Cool.
Fucking motherfucker.
The fucking motherfucker is being struck with all this flame, as you say, like, I'll offer you this mercy. What is going on here? As they are currently like burning in like a tower of flame, like staggering backwards, just like screaming in pain. No, this isn't. And just like burning to ash. They're dead.
No,
They're
really.
very
Lovely.
dead.
I
They
turned to his
have no mercy to take care.
I turn to his friend and I say, "Do you wish for the same fate, or do you wish to speak?"
The only thing I'll speak is at your funeral.
I give discounts.
I give discount.
Did you not see what I just did? I was like, okay, you're gonna be difficult about it.
Yeah.
This
Awesome, yeah, that's my turn.
this dragonborn shouts back at you. We don't need their power. She will be brought back one way or another. They're actually going to try and flee. So they're like turning to run away, but it is Akila's turn.
Okay, so I will like basically run in front of them so that they won't need to go around.
Yep, you can cut them off for sure.
Yes, and oh god, since I don't want to take any more damage, as a bonus action, I will activate my Ghost Step Tattoo.
Okay.
So, which in like for one turn, I'm getting like completely incorporeal, kind of like a ghost, you know.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
then I'm attacking.
Go for it. I will say
No,
you
that's-
also have
Huh?
Callus 5 feet away from this dragonborn, so
Mhm.
you would get sneak attack if this hits.
Does a 24 hit?
Oh yeah, just barely. That'll do it.
Come on. This die, I tell you. So
shit.
9 plus. Oh, that looks good. So these are 38 points of damage.
38.
38. It's magical damage since my rapier is magical.
Cool. That
Very cool.
I should have given these guys more hit points. As your rapier like goes right into their chest and like they just like cough up this blood, looking into your eyes, but also looking through you, speaking to no one. Who here speaks Draconic?
Oh wait, fuck! I think I do.
No.
1 second, let me scroll up.
I barely speak common.
Why do I have so many abilities? I do speak Draconic.
Okay, so everyone else just hears this like guttural, just this infernal Draconic language being spoken. But Ari, you recognize that this creature is saying, "The queen will reign once more. We will bring her back to this plane." As he falls backwards onto the ground, dropping his axe at his side.
Lovely. Perfect.
You know, I even like
is he
really
dead?
boosted. He's dead. Like I gave these guys so many hit points, but y'all just kept doing like, "Hey, here's 40 damage. Hey, here's 55 damage. Hey, here's sneak attack for 36 damage." You know,
That
what
wasn't
can
even
I
like
say?
the highest I could have cast them.
I
That's the fun
know.
part.
Like
Same.
I have a habit of just like underestimating how powerful level 14 is.
Mm.
It's broken. It's broken.
Yeah.
It's so broken.
I could have divine smited y'all again at 2nd level and I didn't
Yeah.
because I didn't want to roll like 6d8 a second
It is
time.
tedious. It truly
Yeah.
is tedious.
And now you have Aquila standing again next to that guy and like poking them with the rapier. Like, is he already dead?
Yeah,
I
there.
guess.
And they were champions of that being.
Yeah.
If I may.
I guess I'm less panicked now if that's the power that this god holds.
This is disappointing.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Looking
For beings that
down-
were so angry and everything, this is disappointing.
I think Ari just kind of old wizard man walks up with his staff. The himself and the visage of his brother of the awakened spellbook share a brief conversation. That unless you speak Gnomish, you won't understand it because they're just speaking to each other. It's like, you know, when brothers speak, they're like, right.
Yeah.
Whenever bilingual people speak, they're like, I don't want anyone else to hear this. Talk to me.
Absolutely.
So they quickly share words. Then like the visage turns back into magic, and it is kind of like stored back in the spellbook. And he turns to the group and he says, "Okay, before the Dragonborn died, he said, the Queen will reign once more. Now, this could mean one of two goddesses. This could mean the goddess that was here before, that got split into other goddesses, or, and I hope to all the gods, I hope to Bahamut not, it could mean Tiamat. So, how are we feeling about that?"
As you say the word Tiamat, another flame behind the base of this statue. There is like this pedestal that nobody had really paid attention to before. There is a small chest at the top of that pedestal. A flame ignites around it, and this flame takes the form of this giant arm with this stone forming around the arm. Another giant clawed arm digging out almost from this box itself, being covered in these partial pieces of stone. This flaming dragon-shaped head, a body made of flame covered only by these bits of stone it's like picking up from the ground around it, just turns and looks at all of you.
In Draconic, I turn and I say, "Oh no, yeah, but please go ahead."
What is your purpose for being here? It is speaking
Leisure.
in common.
Leisure, you know, looking around, looking for new
Sightseeing.
holiday accommodations. Maybe we want to put like a bed and breakfast here. I don't know.
We are in your domain simply because some small creature had done us wrong and we needed to rectify that. We did not mean to disturb you, and I do apologize for having done so.
This is not my domain. I am simply a protector, placed here by the matron of ravens. Do you wish to disturb her resting place?
Resting place. What?
Hey, yo!
Be gone.
I think that's lucky to leave everyone. So,
Resting place. What?
But these guys.
I turn to Kals and I'm like, I really want to leave. I truly do. This is. I'm a librarian.
We have a dragon in front of us telling us that we are allowed to leave. I think this is the only chance we're going to get to do this.
But
I turn to the dragon and I say in Draconic.
Yes.
I'm gonna get us killed, guys. I'm sorry. I turn to the dragon and I say in Draconic. Sorry. Who do you serve the chromatic? Do you serve the chromatic mistress that you have, or have you been placed to guard the matron of death?
It like kind of turns its head to you as you speak in Draconic, and it responds in kind. It says, I'm a sentinel for the matron. She has
Alright,
given me eternal life to guard this place.
Again, and what level spell is that? Just because it would be funky. No, not doing that. I want to keep that spell slot for something special. In Draconic, I say, there are those who wish to bring back the matron, or who wish to invoke the name of Tiamat. What
As you
know
like
you of this?
speak that name, it just hisses.
I
Just this,
gotta
like,
keep saying it.
Fire like hissing from its like already flaming mouth. Just
It seems like
do
the name
not.
Tiamat is not to its liking.
I have a feeling that if you say it
Not
again,
I
something
don't-
else will burn.
Her name here. This is sacred ground, as desecrated as it may be.
It's pretty burned up.
I'm like, my bad. I take that back.
You have 10 seconds to leave before I start killing all of you.
What does it say?
They said that
hey
in
guys.
common.
Oh,
But,
Alright,
what
hard to find
about-
main, everyone.
but the resting place, and I mean, it's basically, this is a chance of a lifetime.
I'm gonna pick up more Surge. We're gonna go to fire main.
My legs just go like,
Are you all mounting back on Flame Main then?
God, I really don't want. I want to ask. I want to ask so many questions.
Look, you know this place
the little
exists
ones,
now.
the little ones should be in power.
You can always come back.
I think I'm like, in Draconic, I'm like, can I come back? I'm like, am I allowed to return? I have questions I want to figure out.
its form just starts like shrinking back in towards the box. Like,
I'm gonna take that as a no. Goodbye.
yeah.
Oh, he's going. Maybe we can go back there, right?
No.
Try to.
To try and put a nice bow on all of this, I will say you all leave this underground sanctum back the way you came, reluctantly as it may be, with the knowledge that it exists and that maybe you can come back sometime with the right preparations. But as you exit from this sarcophagus and out of the crypt and into the dark night sky of the city, you are surrounded with these sudden flashes of fire and explosions in the sky, this loud boom surrounding you all, as the fireworks for the festival start going off. And
you mother.
and it's a celebration for the city. It is the summer solstice. Yes, I know it did. I definitely. This is not my original idea, and I know you know about it. But yeah, no, it's a time of celebration. It is time to report back to your superiors and to revel in the summer solstice and the bounty that it brings.
For fuck's sake! Now the festival is starting and I'm totally bloody!
I mean, corpse cards in the middle of a festival. I think I have made a bigger mistake than you did.
Absolutely does not attend the festival.
I think now requires rest, not festivities.
Well, you all do know.
But you can't miss out the festival. Like, you just can't!
You all do know this festival goes like very late into the early mornings. Like, you all have time to rest and then join in later. It's this whole city just goes crazy anytime there's a like sanctioned party.
I think I'll get my priorities straight, and I'll first get rid of the bodies, which I probably took, and to take the body away to do something nice, and then use my card to steal all the statues which are in the garden, because they're mine and they're promised. I shall not forget.
Wonderful. So
I think
yes.
may I give a little closing vignette?
I was
to
gonna say,
Ari?
as it wraps up,
Oh, sorry.
is there anything immediately, like, final words you wish to give as in character?
All right. Ari goes back, reports to the three, gives them. I think Ari is very much the kind of guy to kind of look at the youngins and tell them, "Go, enjoy, rest. I will take care of the mission report, if you will."
I'll take care of the statues.
Much appreciated.
Perfect.
Thanks a bunch.
Ari goes back to the meeting place where they met. He calls the house. He calls the heads of the houses. Gives them a nice little report. Leaving out a couple bits of information, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think he doesn't tell. He definitely doesn't tell them about the protector. He doesn't tell them about the ancient goddess. He tells them that they found ruins. He doesn't go into there being a city or anything.
Well, I will tell you that the eyes of the three will probably be at the head of investigating these ruins, but for now, let us celebrate at the festival. Thank you for your hard work. It is appreciated.
Absolutely.
I had to do it one more time. Come on.
Yes, you had to. I was
You
waiting.
walked up to the council. I can't not do the voice.
I did. I put that on a silver platter. I think it says, of course, Stitch. I will join you in but a moment's notice. And he doesn't.
That's Patty! He just like runs out.
Straight to a rave.
Exactly.
Ari sneaks away to a hidden place that he hasn't told any of his friends about. And he uses a spell that he hasn't used. It's also a spell more of a calling. And he's going to call on his old friend.
Oh, okay. Is this the old friend?
Yeah, the old friend.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. So you cast this spell. I'm assuming it's a fairly large place that you're in.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of like research facility, private library type thing. That is his own and not the Cobalt Souls.
Wonderful.
Kind of like probably in a cave, big ass cave, lined with bookshelves, a couple desks, all the good stuff.
As you cast this spell and this spectral blue energy starts to take form in front of you, you see the aspect of a sapphire gem dragon, this ancient protector of a long forgotten Cobalt Soul, falls in front of you. You know this creature to be named as Sidrid.
Sidrid, old friend. We have much to speak about. I have many questions to ask of you.
Ask away. And as we fade away from Ari's conversation with Sidrid, is there anything immediate anyone else wanted to say, or?
I think the only thing I would do when I get all the statues, etc., when I get back to the graveyard where all my lovely half of them undead, most of them not cats, are sitting around, I'm searching for the lovely statue of the Raven Queen, which like embellishes this graveyard, and I'm just walking up to it and said, "So what was the point of me going on this trip? Because this is a lot of conflicting information." As a, divine intervention, etc., just asking, because I have a feeling you appeared to me this morning, or was it afternoon? Like, time is weird. Please just explain something,
this statue is like this raven mask with just sort of like this cresting wreath of feathers around it, and you almost hear this voice cast back to you from under the mask. That place, though desecrated, is still sacred. And I feel you reluctantly draw for some kind of greater purpose. Your purpose is to protect that which is a little out of sight.
I'll keep
Unless
it
you
in
would
mind.
rather have the limelight.
No. No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Don't worry. I'm happy. No. I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind.
There are no other words that come from that statue today or the weeks that follow.
This woman, and I reluctantly just go to my business, just rambling to myself, like, giving me more work, and that's it.
Did Callus have something to say?
Sure. Callus obviously showers and changes clothes after this because she does want to go to the festival, but she's not too interested in all the festivities. She instead slinks away to where tucked behind like probably some of the market stalls and where some of the partying people are, where like the actual storefronts are. One store that is still open, something called like Cogs and Frogs, where a good friend of hers, Antilla Pepin, an artificer or an engineer, is working late into the night on some commissions and is likely going to miss a majority of the festival because of it.
Yes.
We'll pick up some snacks, foods that are being sold. Maybe pick up a couple of like fun items like masks or like little toys. And I don't even know if this needs to be a scene between them, but I think they just sort of quietly spend like their night together, just hanging out and
I
body
think
doubling.
As you get there, they do hand you one thing they were working on for you. It's a little pocket watch, and like as you open it up on the inside, engraved is the words of a very old friend of yours that says, "Be kind as though your life depends on it."
Callus treasures it.
Was there anything for Aquila?
Yeah, she will not go back to the Cobalt Soul for the moment. She basically just takes some kind of cloth of wishes away the blood pot because she has clothes of mending, so this is not a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
So she
The
is
clothes
prepared.
are just blood free now. They're fine.
So yeah, so then basically already while everyone else is going on their way, she is going straight to the festival. Because
Perfect.
this is like probably one of her most favorite things for the whole year.
Absolutely.
So,
you join in the festivities to see a troupe of bards playing. One, this like half elven man with like this brilliant yellow like billowing outfit, kind of like always hanging around in town, just like boasting all these crazy stories. And nearby is a small little hedge creature, a hedgehog like humble folk, playing a pan flute alongside. They are the sort of like main entertainment in this section of the city. And you dance and party and drink and have a wonderful time.
Yeah, definitely also going to
eventually your your friends that are come in, but
yeah. One thing that she will definitely do is like going to her favorite store, which is only there during the festivities, and buy everything like from her favorite streets.
Absolutely.
This is like completely stocking up for the next time.
Perfect. So as peace for now falls upon the city of Marksburg and on the country of Dagrios with a strange threat and curiosity looming beneath, we're going to end our little two-shot here. Hopefully, I know the boss fight, like, a little underwhelming, but what can I say? I underestimate you all. You're all wonderful and very good at your job and at also killing things. We have run over time a little bit, maybe by about 20 minutes or so, but it was wonderful having you all here. Just like kind of quick roundtable, where can everyone find you all again? Let's let me put back on this screen. There we go. Let's start same order we did. Apollo, where can people find you?
Hi, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can't find my son; he is mine. Under the name @TallNerdApollo. I don't do much nowadays because I'm busy, but I will be doing cosplays and streaming. I'm gonna start doing that soon. All the good stuff. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to have you.
Bye.
Yelmer, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram, Fab Flamingo or Fab Flamingo Queen or Fab Flamingo with just a Q because everybody uses it apparently. Branding. Besides that, I don't do a lot at the moment too, but I'm gonna start drawing a bit more and maybe do some stuff and post it somewhere. Basically that, and I love playing with you guys. I certainly hope we can do it again.
Wonderful. Kestrel, where can people find you?
Hi, welcome to the other end of the stream. I've been Kestrel, she, they pronouns. You can find me on all social media platforms as Holocompass. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, but I would mostly use Twitter. I am the editor for Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where two of my friends talk about wanting to fuck monsters a lot, and they're really rancid about it, as you could expect. I also edit for Blood of Mouth, and they recently released a horror actual play called Woeful Revelry in the Monster of the Week system. Other than that, I'm just around, talking all smooth like. Have a nice evening.
Wonderful.
ASMR only friends.
Right, great.
I appreciate it. Caro, where can people find you?
Yeah, hey, you can find me definitely on Twitter at the moment under the tag Blaine Unrivaled. You can also find me on the Hot of Tales Discord, which you can find under this video. And I have some work up on DM skill that you can buy. There are some adventures, there are some stuff that I worked with others together, like a supplement for the Feywild, a tavern supplement, like a lot of stuff. Also, you can find me again New Year when we are starting back with our Convergence Manifesto Eberron campaign. So, where Austin will be there as well.
Yes.
So yes, and also just a little reminder for the end of the year, if you liked what you saw today here on Hot of Tales, please follow us to get more wonderful content. I just got today the note that we this year produced over 60 videos, which is a lot, to be fair. So we have like a ton of content that you can watch either here in the VODs on Twitch or on YouTube, which is also like Horde of Tales.
And I believe it's youtube.com/Horde of Tales.
I mean, yes, slash. So, and if you say like, hey, we need to produce more content and you want to see us doing more stuff, please be so kind and consider subscribing, because every little bit helps to keep us going and to keeps the stuff that we need to use to produce this a little bit running. So that's it, Austin. Last but not least.
I have been Austin. You can find me at StarCrosser with an X, at StarXRosser if you want to be that kind of person. I occasionally stream. I might start back that soon. Hopefully, who knows? We'll see. But I also am, along with down that way. I forgot I'm mirrored. Along with Caro down there, Tuesdays on Horde of Tales, which will be starting back in January. but yeah, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Starcrosser, that's where I am. It has been so much fun to run this, to introduce this world to everyone, and to introduce the three of you into the Horde of Tales table. I, much like you, am very sad this is only a 2-shot, but I have had so much
Ada
fun.
is basically backing the Wool stream of like to get and have this continuing.
Look, hey, you never know. We'll see what happens. But as much as I would love to keep playing D&D, we do have to end the stream. It has been wonderful. You all have been wonderful.
No, you
And-
have been wonderful.
Well, thank you.
you.
No, you. Stop it.
You.
No.
You.
You're wonderful. You know who else is wonderful? The chat and everybody watching, and obviously
Yes.
Dobby.
Karen, Mike, Karen Mike is wonderful.
Mike Wazowski over here
No.
has been wonderful. But it is time to end the stream before it gets any more chaotic. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you may be. And yes, the cats have been wonderful. Thank you, chat. But good night. Bye. Farewell. Advita Sane.